Repaying the debts. Recently, I borrowed a trailer and some logs from a friend. Will you help me get what I owe to his house? I will pay for your services. Okay, let me see if I can track that. Okay, here we go. Where are we going with it? Lake house? Okay, yeah, we can do that. That should do it. Okay, let's hook up to it. Hopefully we won't have to get out a log crane. Oops, I took out the fence a little bit. Let's get some more of it. Alright, that's good. Okay, let's get on the road. I think I better gear it down. That looks like a big dip in the road. I'm going to try to go above that. Alright, I know there's some big rocks in this. I'm going to have to detach it for a minute. I might need a bigger truck for this. It's moving at a snail's pace. If I can't winch it to me, I'm going to have to get a bigger truck. It's taking forever, but it's moving. Let's see if we can get it to move a little bit farther. I guess it's hung on a rock. I'm going to try to pull it from here. This truck just ain't heavy enough. It's just moving the truck. The logs ain't moving. I'm going to try using a little bit heavier truck. The big Derry Longhorn should be big enough. You only got two options, saddle high and saddle low. Let's go pull those logs out of the mud. This thing has a 98-gallon fuel capacity. That's not too bad. I just hope it's heavy enough to pull those logs out of that mud hole. We can get some speed up right through here. We're beating the shocks off of it though. That was a really close call on that pole. There's some pretty big rocks in this. Let's see how fast we can get up the hill in high gear. We're almost there now. Let's see if we can get a little bit of drifting in. We should be able to just back down in there and hook up to it and pull out with it. I could have left that Voron D out here to help me pull. I probably won't need it though. Let's see if I can pull it over here with a winch. This ain't looking good. I'm just going to back up there and attach it. We might do better hooked up to it than trying to pull it with a winch. Yeah, we could have left the Voron grad to help. But it is moving. Maybe the Azov Antarctic could have done this better. Maybe I can just get out here and grab some traction and then pull it to me. It must be hung on a rock. I'm going to try to drive up closer to the bank and get more traction. I can't even tell if it's moving. I don't seem to be getting any more traction on this side. Let's try hooking back up to it again. Those tiny little branches we're winching to are actually helping. I really should have left the Voron D here to help. It's still moving. I'm going to keep hooking these tiny little twigs because it's actually helping. It's moving so slow you can barely tell, but at least it's moving. If we just had some weight on the back of this thing, it would pull a lot better. The next time I have to pull through this mud hole here, I might try to avoid it altogether. It's moving like the speed of the tectonic plates. We're almost on solid ground. Sending that Voron D back to the garage was a wrong move. I could have hooked the winch to the back of it and started it and let it pull. I know I don't ever want to pull a log trailer through this again. If I ever have to, I might try using the Azov Antarctic. We're almost on dry land, but we're moving at a snail's pace. We're out of it now. Let's see if we can make up for some of that lost time. If I would have just left that Voron D, it wouldn't have took it too long. Let's just top this thing off on fuel. Let's get it in. Let's see how far we can get in high gear. We almost got all the way up. This is our exit. This road don't show up on the map. I think we've made it. Task completed. Repaying the debts. Great, thank you. I can use it for my work. Look before you leap is already activated, so I guess we're going to do that one. We'll be pulling a Chevrolet Kodiak C70 out of the swamp and up on the mountaintop. There aren't any roads at all on the map showing up, so I guess we just have to find our own way. This road's going in the right direction. this truck gets pretty good traction. I hope it keeps getting traction when I'm pulling another truck with it. The C70 is a pretty light truck. It's a single axle. Well, at least we was able to get it into high for a little while. I'm glad there's not any boulders in this. It would really turn up the difficulty. Here's the place to get some logs. I bought this truck before I left the Yukon. I've had one of these before and sold it back, but I'm gonna probably buy another truck. I don't know which one yet. I'm gonna take a look at this map. I know you can't usually see any roads on the map here. We have a few flooded roads showing up. That should get us there. This truck is a really good rock crawler, and it has decent fuel capacity, so that's pretty much the reason I bought it. Those two things caused me to buy it. Plus I had two of those Caterpillar telehandlers, and I recovered them and sold one. I had like 400,000, so I had to get rid of some of it. I got a lot of that from just returning trailers at the Yukon. These dead trees will snag you up every time. You have to go slow and break them. I'm gonna have to use some trucks with some big wheels in this area when I start doing contracts. I might start using the Azov Antarctic a little bit. I guess this guy don't want to bring his Kodiak back down here again. I surely wouldn't want to. I use my Kodiak for a fuel hauler. I can get it anywhere I want to take it as long as I pull it with a TUS 420. I see a lot of boats on this map. They should get swamp boats. Flat bottom boats with a fan on the back. I'm pushing on a limb and can't get traction to break it. It finally broke. It's harder to get through these limbs whenever they're in deep water, but this mud ain't really much easier. I think the Azov Antarctic can just drive right over top of these things. This place looks like it got pretty wrecked by a hurricane. We could probably break these little sticks a lot easier if we had a load on this. That's a pretty big pile of scrap metal. It looks like someone shooting dynamite beside of us. The fence just exploded. Let's see what I can see on the map. Well, I'm not going nose first into the water. I gotta get around these trees and then back in. I can't push that tree over. I'll have to winch myself out of this mess. It's wedged in here good. It's a good thing we have stuff to winch to. Remind me not to try to bring the Kodiak out here. Looks like the only way to get through here is to winch yourself through. That almost turned us in the right direction. Now we gotta pull forward some. At least it don't look like it's drowned out with water. I might be able to just start it up. It makes it a whole lot easier to tow when you're able to start the other truck. Let's take a look at the map and see where we need to take this thing to. to the top of the mountain. Well, let's hook to it and see if it's going to start. I'm going to try to pull it up out of the water a little bit before I start it, just to be safe. The engine's running. It shouldn't be too hard to pull it out like that. I guess I need to pull forward some and grab it again. That should reach. Now let's get this thing up the road. I guess I'll have to keep winching it and moving forward until I hit solid ground. Now I have to winch myself. That's not going to reach. This might. Okay, let's get it in. It's good to be back on solid ground again. I don't know how much fuel's in this thing. I hope it makes it home. I'm not going to put any in it unless it runs completely out. Let's take a peek at this map. I'm just going to take a shortcut straight up the hill right here. If we can get through the trees without getting hung up, we'll come out in the right spot. This is pretty steep. We're deep in the bush now. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. We're coming out on the road now. I might should look at the map. We're taking a right. That was too soon to go into high. I'm gonna put it in low plus though. This thing don't have very steep of a turning radius. We're going up. Oh, I'm beating my truck up. Let's do some rock crawling. I'm gonna have to hit that at a different angle. Let's try that one more time. This truck gets great traction on this hillside. Task completed. Look before you leap. Think. Hope he'll be more careful from now on.